In this recording, we're going to be talking about measuring productivity. This concept is covered on page 45 of your textbook. And the first calculation that we're going to be doing is measuring total productivity. When we compute productivity for all of the inputs combined, such as labor, machines, and capital, you're measuring total productivity. Total productivity is the measure of outputs divided by inputs. We're going to be using the example that's given to you in your book, and this example is started on the top of page 45. It says, the weekly dollar value of a company's output, such as finished goods and work in progress, is $10,200. So we're just going to be typing this in here in Excel. So it says that their output is $10,200. And it says the finished goods and work in progress is $10,200, and the value of their inputs, such as labor, materials, and capital is $8,600. So their inputs are $8,600. And you want to measure productivity. Okay, so that's going to be simply a calculation. We're going to start out with an equal sign, and we're going to measure outputs divided by inputs. You always want to be sure to click on the cell that contains the number that you're wanting to calculate. Don't actually put the number into the formula itself, because then you can change what's in the cell and the formula will automatically change as well. But if you put the numbers in the formulas, then you're only using Excel like a calculator, and you have to actually go back and change all of your formulas each time you make a change to the variables. Okay, so that's the same answer that they come up with in the book. Now, we can also break down each of our productivity measures into pieces and find out exactly what is more productive. So we can use a partial productivity measure and break it down into labor productivity, machine productivity, materials productivity, or capital productivity. So that's going to be our next measure here. So if we keep on going, the next example, we're looking at a bakery. A bakery oven produces 346 pastries in 4 hours. What is its productivity? Okay, so we want to put down our outputs. Sorry about that. Hit the wrong button there. Our output is 346 pastries. So we put the number in one cell, and then you can put the items in the other. And our input is time. Okay, so our productivity is going to be equal to our output, the 346, divided by our time, the 4 hours. So we can create 86.5 pastries per hour. All right, and then number 2 asks us, 2 workers paint tables in a furniture shop. If the workers paint 22 tables in 8 hours, what is their productivity? So this is labor productivity. Okay, so again, our output is 22 tables, and the input was 2 workers times 8 hours. So our productivity, again, we're going to start with our equal sign, our 22 divided by our 16. So that means that we've got 1.37 tables being built per hour. Okay. And then finally, we would want to take a look at the multi-factor productivity measure. And this lets you pick and choose which items you're going to include in the productivity measure. Maybe you just want to look at labor and machines, or maybe you want to look at labor and capital, or labor, capital, and energy. So it just depends on what you want to compute in there. So in this example, it says sometimes we need to compute productivity as a ratio of output relative to a group of inputs such as labor and materials. This is a measure of multi-factor productivity. For example, let's say that output is worth $382. Okay, so let's put that down. Output is worth $382. And labor material costs are $168 and $98 respectively. So our inputs are equal to 168 plus 98. So we can measure productivity again by just dividing. And we should have the same answers they have in the book. And that's all we have to do productivity. Simple calculation of division.